Ay, ¿qué pasó? Ah, eso. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good
Hello,
morning, everyone. Hello, Paul.
how are we doing?
Welcome to the webinar. Very good, and you?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you.
Ah, nice.
Hi, Camilo. Hi, Paul.
Hello, Corey. Welcome to the webinar.
No video today. I'm in transit, so just dialing in as I have some time. So just the
Nice.
voice only today.
Yeah. That's also works. So welcome, Corey.
Thank you
Welcome,
very much.
Solomon, and welcome, Al. So, as is common during these webinars, we are going to start sharing some wins. Who wants to share some wins from the last week, from your life, personal life, or all kind of wins that you want to share before starting the webinar?
Yeah, I'll share a win.
Oh, okay, Corey,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my wife has finished a clean slate book, and we're gonna start clean slating. So I look forward to clean slating with her and sharing more wins, joint wins. So yeah, that's my win. Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge win. Congratulations. Great to hear that. That's a great tool. So thank you, Corey, for sharing. Who else has some wins you want to share today? Okay, there's still some people joining. Paul, please.
A few days ago, Camilla, you were there. We took the Zones of Life course and did the several techniques, including practicing presence. And I don't know if maybe everyone here has done that. I don't know. But that was my first time doing that. And I enjoyed it. And I had, during that class, some good realizations. But yesterday, I sat down with Alexi, my daughter Alexi, who had not taken that course, but I tried to be very careful and go through and introducing the technique of presence as it was presented to me. She had never done it before either. And at first, Alex and I are very close, and we started out, we were just doing a lot of laughing, but then we sort of settled into it, got serious. And my first realization I had was I was seeing past my daughter Alexi, and more into, her spiritual being, I guess. And then we were about ready to do the 20 minutes, and both of us just discussing, that seemed like a really long time. Do you really want to do this? And Amanda, who was also hosting the Zone for Life, had said, well, you do this, and often around the 10-minute mark, things kind of clicked in. So we said, okay, fine, we've gone this far, why don't we try it? And something very interesting happened for both of us. And that was, at a certain point, it was, all I can really describe it as, it was like a telepathic moment. It reminded me of, like, in these Star Wars, where they show these scenes where they got these, they're flying in space, and they got these radar screens, and they're trying to lock in on the ship in front of them, and suddenly it locks in. That was kind of like, it was like our awarenesses were there, but at a certain moment, we just locked in. And it was like, wow. It was like, we were, each of our beings were like, our awarenesses were just meeting up. And I had this surge of just, I don't know, life force particles or whatever, rising up my back. And it was just, and as I was having this experience, I thought, Alexi's is there, and she's experiencing this as well. And sure enough, when we talked about it later, she was experiencing it as well. So it was very telepathic. This meeting of on a sort of a being level, if you will. It was very powerful, and definitely a win.
Wow, thank you very much, Paul, for sharing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, that is one of the benefits of doing presents. And yes, that is the event that we normally do twice a month. So if somebody is interested in doing that, I will just share the link here in the chat. Many of you have already attended that event, so it is great, like your description of it, because one of the things that increase, or the abilities that you increase, is your ability to connect and create harmony with the people that is near you. So that's amazing, and it's like that kind of communication that you can develop as you develop these skills and abilities. So thank you very much, Paul, for sharing. I just put that in the chat. We have 2 for April, so everyone is invited. You just can check the different dates in that link in the chat. So, okay, we have some other people joining today, which is David, Jorn, hello, welcome. Also Tracy, and a new one called Solomon. So if you want to have any other win that you want to share before we start with the topic of the webinar, this is the time. This is the moment. Okay, good. So we can continue for the topic of today's webinar, and we are studying chapter number 12, a case of life force particle trap. So yeah, as I was reading the chapter, it was very interesting to see how Alan mentions like this common denominator of people that has problems with others, like with relationships. And normally it's an absent in that you have in the past, like somebody that did something to you, something abuse you or fight with you. So as we live life, we are like accumulating all these events, and then it comes a time that some people in life becomes our enemies. So I just wanted to know, as you were reading the chapter, what comes to you, if you want to share, like connected to this part of having enemies in your past and having upsets that are presenting in the present moment. So any comments that you want to share related to that? Or any other comments that came to you as you were reading the chapter?
Yeah, hi Camilo.
Yes.
Yeah,
Al. And, okay, Corey. Yes,
yeah,
Corey,
Al, go ahead.
Al.
Yeah. What came to view is basically the idea of precepts, and Alan talks about if you have a negative precept about something. And I've just come from a sales call with a colleague, and he was mainly doing the sales, and we did 2 today, and he had quite a lot of negative precepts that have built up, and whereby he was preempting the negative before it even came up. And then when the sale didn't go too well, it was, that's how it goes. And I was like, oh my God, I see it here, right here. And he wasn't doing a presentation how he should have been doing it in the first place. So it was kind of like, okay, here's a way not to do it, but I can see how it happens. You're in sales, you get knocked back, more charge builds up, mood level drops, and then negative precepts develop. So, unless we process, that's kind of can be par for the course. If we don't process and release the charge and also the precepts. So it was a very visual experience of what happens and what I must continue to do in order to, keep selling and have a positive precepts.
Great point, Corey. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much. Yes, that's a good point that you are mentioning, because yes, like Alan in the book mentions that he developed the precept of people are bad and I don't like people. So if you have that kind of presets, what will be your results? It will be very difficult to really connect with others and to get results in sales or any other area of life. So thank you, Corey, for sharing that, and especially with this specific event that happened to you. Like if you have precepts in cells related to people, it will be much harder to really sell and connect with others. So Al, you also raised your hand, please. It will be great to hear you.
Thank you, Camilo. Yeah, having life force particles tied up, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that can happen. At least it's been my experience. It could be some kind of a traumatic event. It could be something in a person's early life. And I guess a big deal is to locate that. And, I mean, this may seem fairly obvious, but to locate it and return your life force particles to yourself for the free use of that. I mean, I had some, I guess you could say, interesting experiences at the beginning of my life. And I was talking to a lady I know out in California last night who was processing one of her clients with a similar situation. Basically, it has to do with adoption and, biological parents and adopted parents and all that stuff. But I actually ran into a specific incident when I was out there at the ranch a long time ago. And it's it's something else when you really run into something. I mean, with, in this case, kind of a grief charge on it, which is a lot of your own life force tied up into something that, maybe you didn't understand at the time, or maybe something you didn't want. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but getting into it and looking at it, maybe changing the way you look at it a little bit, a lot of different things, basically running out the charge, as, we would say. But it's a big deal, and there's so much that can be gained by releasing your own life force particles that are trapped in, who knows how many different incidents that a person might have. But you do that, and you gain a lot more power from it, a lot more ability, the ability to be present, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll just leave it there for now. But it's a win to be here today. Thanks.
Thank you, Al. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Yes, you bring a great point. So what Alan is mentioning here is that the main reason that you have like a problem in life is that there are trapped life force particles, and they may be connected to an upset that you have in the past. So most of upsets appear because when dealing with people, when dealing with different situations in life, as we move forward in life, an upset happens. So that's what starts trapping you. So, and another point that I want to connect with the chapter is that he mentioned, okay, he noticed that he has all these upsets, all these different situations. He became like very good and at being really vicious in the sport that he was playing. And so how, when he noticed that this paradigm wasn't working for the rest of his life, maybe it worked for the sport that he was practicing, but then when he tried to do the same with other areas of life, that wasn't that useful for him. So how he started like noticing, okay, what I need to change. And the thing is that he started noticing, okay, I have to create friendly environments when I connect with other people, I will be able to free life force particles instead of trapping them. So that's a great point there. And he also mentions how he started learning about, okay, what is to be a friend? and defining the words related to be a friend. So after that, as he started, okay, what is to be a friend? There is the definition here with which I want to share. So friend, it's one, a person whom one knows, likes, and trusts. Two, a person whose life force particles are aligned with one's own in a struggle or cause. So as he started becoming more friendly, he was able to create friendly environments. And then, but as he was trying to do this, he realized, okay, I'm trying to do this, but what I noticed is that my vocabulary is of down words, negative words. So how do I change that? So I start becoming better at dealing with people and communicating the positive words. So there is very interesting that the chapter mentions some positive words that we can really get to know and define and really clean. So he mentioned winning, happiness, attention, concentration, knowledge, responsibility, cause, source, admiration, respect, positive. So as he was learning more and more of these words, it was easier for him to communicate in a positive manner and create those friendly environments that will allow him to really create the life that he wanted for him and for others. So I just wanted to know if, as you were reading the chapter and this specific part, if something else came to you, and yes, any comments, opinions about it? Okay, Tracy and then
Camilo.
Al, please, and Corey too.
Yes. So I've been doing a lot of clean slating and looking up words, definition words, and then just going deep into what is a word. And words have energy. Words have vibrational frequencies. So when you say winning or team or friend, it has an emotional vibration, as well as negative words or down words have a vibration. So when we speak to another, we're talking in pictures, we're talking in images. If I say winning to someone, they may think of themselves winning. If I say losing, they may think of themselves losing. So words, someone came up with a definition, words create worlds, and they do. So it's words have power and emotional frequency behind them. And by just clean slating words, you're not just clean slating the word, but you're clean slating everything that's attached to it, the visions, the emotions, and everything connected to it. So words, and positive words, are very powerful because they, if you speak positive words to someone, you can empower them. So words are powerful.
Oh, thank you, Corey. Yes, thank you very much for your comment. Yes, that's the importance of words, and especially the positive ones, because with positive words, you are creating positive futures, positive environments, positive realities. So, okay, Tracy also raised her hand. Please, welcome to the webinar.
Yeah, thank you, Camilo. Good to see you. What was coming to mind for me was on page 64 of this book about the combative personality. And there's just some people, and I've had these people in my past of where they just create no-win situations. So it's very difficult to have a relationship with a person who just creates no wins for anybody. And the most important thing is that you don't win. And so I'm glad I learned this, because what I learned was just to not play the game. Because we get to choose which game we're going to play and which games we're going to invest our life force energy in. And it doesn't mean that we love these people any less. Like some of these are my family members, but at the same time, at some point I gotta love myself enough to invest in myself and create wins for myself. And like Alan, I was raised, I didn't know positive words. I couldn't use positive words because I didn't know them. I had to learn them. And so I'm just thankful for these studies, because this is what I'm learning to invest in myself. Thank you.
Great, Tracy. Very much. Yes, and that's a great point. It's as we start raising our vocabulary, raising our knowledge and really concepts about those positive words, it's easier also to starting to connect with other people that also has these words. So okay, there are some people that may be negative or that have only negative words, but as we expand our vocabulary, it also allows us to connect to new environments and new people and new worlds. So that's great. So, okay, so I will, Al raise his hand first. I will give the word to Al and then to Paul. So Al.
No, it's just the words is, I don't know necessarily if it's the word that has the vibration, it may, but what a person associates with the word, definitely that person has an association, a good feeling or a bad feeling. I mean, to simplify it, there may be other vibrations contained with that, but I can say, regarding the stuff I was talking about a little earlier, I was doing a little processing with someone quite some time ago, and we looked at some other ways to look at it in some different words. And it just made so much of a difference because I associated the new words with higher vibrations, which I think is, a big part of all this. I mean, like describe your mood level, I mean, it's like, what vibration are you in? And when you can bring that up, I mean, it's beneficial, I think. Like, I know with Al, I was rereading that again the other day, and some of his precepts, I guess you could say, they're good if you're going to go out on a field and, play Australian rules football like he did. I mean, they work for that, but it's not the best mindset to go in and sell somebody something. But, he figured that out and, did what he needed to do and changed basically, I think, his mental outlook to a large degree, and saw that it benefited him, and then, went to pursue that. And that's, I guess that's what we all need to do to whatever degree we can, because the vibration and your presence, the presence of your vibration has a lot to do with how you're going to relate with people. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's a great point. Like how also we connect the mood levels with the words that we use and our understanding of them, and how we also connect that with other people, and how we transmit those words with others in our conversation in daily life. So thank you very much, Al. And Paul, please.
Thank you. I was prompted by some of Tracy's comments, and also something that Corey said earlier. And basically the idea is we have to be very careful what we expose ourselves to, that there's a lot of influences out there which will sort of steal our life force particles, drag us down, collapse our spirit type of thing. And in particular, I'm reminded of two different commentators, if you will. And for one, he was answering a question where this person was talking about how he was trying to have conversations with his friends, but there were constantly explosions and paradigm crashes, and just, he was asking, how do you reach these people, and what do I do, and all that. And the commentator said, sounds to me like you just need new friends. It really hit me, like, maybe just stop beating your head against the wall, have someone who's not so negative or such. And then the other comment was actually from Yogananda. Has anyone ever has any readings of his? And he was specifically talking about family members and saying that, yes, we can still, even if we're having negative interactions with our family and such, we can still love them, but we can do that from afar. We don't have to sort of immerse ourselves in that negativity and such. So they were both very helpful comments. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Paul. Good. A great point too. Yes, and you were just like enforcing the comment from Tracy. Yes, it's true. We have loved ones. We love them, but okay, we can just find the specific places where we can connect and just be able to also disconnect with when we want and when we need to do that, not getting involved in all the negativity, just being able to go into the positive and stay there. And that also helps if you know positive words. Another point that I want to mention related to positive words is, for example, what we do with the clean slate. We are just trying to find out positive terms, positive concepts that allow us to start visualizing, seeing the real picture behind the words, like that is fully clear for us in order to operate with those words in the world. So that's great. So, and I know that many of you here have taken the Clean Slate course, so that's why I'm mentioning it. So, okay, thank you very much for all your comments. I think we have 4 minutes more. In case you have other wins that you want to share before ending the call, that came from just being here, or maybe you have another one that you just remember and want to share. This is the place for that. So any wins that you want to share before ending our webinar
Yes.
for today? Okay,
I'll
Corey,
share a
please.
win, just second to Paul's point and you know, and Tracy, negative people in our life. If they are negative, we can love them from afar, and you know, we can honor them, but we don't have to have them in our space. And I feel, you know, because I've had personal experience of very close people, you know, and I've had to do that. But it's self-preservation for one, and if I've got responsibility to look after people like my children, I've got to ensure that I'm in the best possible state I'm in. And having people steal my life force particles, I'm doing my own children a disservice. So that's how I look at it, more important than money. So for me, loving them from afar, and if I'm not getting into negativity, it's easier to love them from afar. So that's my point and my win.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Thanks for sharing. Good. Any other win? We still have some minutes before ending the call. Good, Tracy. A win is always good to share. So Tracy.
Sure, you bet, absolutely. So I recently have been working on attracting more financial opportunities, and what I had in mind was more clients. But instead, what's showing up is opportunities for investment and other ways of like cash showing up in my life. So I probably, I don't know if I would need to be more specific. I kind of like this cash showing up, but I like some clients showing up too. So that's a win for me.
Nice, thank you, Tracy. Thanks for sharing. So good that you're getting what you want. Nice.
Also, I just, Tracy reminded me of another win. I got a check in the mail that I wasn't expecting for, you know, a nice big figure, and it was out of nowhere. So for me, that was a great experience of doing a clean slating course, and it came out of nowhere, you know. So I was very happy about that, and it was a great win. So thank you, Tracy, for reminding me of that win.
Great. Corey, congratulations. That's great to get checks unexpected. Who likes that? Good. Okay, so we are getting to the end of the webinar. Thank you very much for attending today and for also sharing all your positivity, your positive words, and all your different comments that really make this webinar more rich. And so, yes, I really want to say thank you to all of you. And let's see each other for the next webinar, same time, 12 p.m. US Central. And that's it. Thank you very much, and keep connected to the Green Zone.
Thanks
you,
a lot,
Camilo.
guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a
Thanks,
great week.
Camilo.
Have a good week.
Camilo, cheers.
Bye,
See ya.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.